Okay boys, we've looked at some warm-up drills, basic warm-up drills. We've then looked at presentation, which is very important, and then we've obviously run 2 or 3 drills that have brought a number of those things in together. I just want to spend a bit of time looking at the formation we're trying to set up and what each individual player's got to do. So if you take the ball and imagine you've gone to ground, obviously great leg drive, you've got us into space, you've presented and you're going to go a long placement. The next player, I want to always make sure there's an imaginary line called a power line, and I always work this concept that the minute I get 2 or 3 metres away, I'm dropping my height and I'm then getting myself into a position to be second or third man. I don't want to drop my height here. Why? Because they're going to take me away, so I don't want to ever give defence a target. So I drop my height from here, I work at this level, and the first man I want to go down the tunnel, ball, head, and then onto shorts. And I'm going to bring Rasta in here in a minute. So the second man goes in there. Yeah, nice and low. Imagine we've come in and you grip the shorts. Are you happy with that? Because there's a fine line between the shorts, or if there's hands on the ground, what would you say?
Richard, just to emphasise something, there needs to be a clear target between this player and the ball carrier so that the opposition have something to aim at. The player cannot then place his hands on the ground and prevent the contest.
Okay, so if you put your hands on the ground and got your chest right onto those shorts, you would look to blow that up.
100%, because there is no target for the opposition to aim for over here.
Okay, so let's go back up onto the shorts. We're happy with that. Good strong position. Make sure you got a good strong grip. Third man comes in on the side. Nice and tight. He binds in here. What I'm looking at is all eyes are forward, because these players must know what's coming at them from a safety point of view. If their eyes are looking at the ground, just both look down, they don't have a clue what's coming at them. So I always coach the eyes to be up, boys. Eyes up, and you're speaking the whole time. The fourth man, who actually I don't want in the formation, but sometimes he has to be here, will literally be in a position here. He may well be standing in this position. He could be into a running line. It's a decision that you've got to make. But ideally, you're happy with this strong, good, low position for us, hopefully, getting quick ball.
100%. I'm happy with this, Richie.
Okay. Well done, boys. Okay, boys, just let's set up the formation again that we just looked at. So that's the long placement, second and third man. I just want to show you a couple of key points. Now, we stop there. All of a sudden, I am a threat. Okay, I am a threat, and you take me away. Then, what do you become? Yes, you become the second man, you become the third man, and pretty much everyone goes back one. So you want to make sure, just stand up boys, you want to make sure that it's simple as possible. Remember, these breakdowns, 140 plus per game. You don't want your players having 30 things to think of as they run into a breakdown. So the key principle is win the space. If you have to clear the threat, then everybody falls into line and takes the position. Do you quite understand that? Next thing is this: if the second man goes down and grips the shorts, just on this formation again, and you go in behind, let's just talk about the croc roll, right? Very, very important, because, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you are not allowed to do this, left or right. I'm not allowed to get into this position and pull back, or literally get into this position and pull back.
Absolutely, Richard, because that's dangerous and we need to protect these players.
So again, if you are in behind and this player gets croc rolled out of here, what happens? Next man comes up and next man stays there. Or, boys, you can do this. If you just drop out the formation, I'll always look at how teams attack our breakdowns. If I know that I'm up against a croc rolling team, and there are teams, especially Northern Hemisphere, that do it a lot, instead of setting up a 1-1, I would set up a 2. So a 2 is literally straight across. So you come to shorts, you come down the side, and all of a sudden, I then struggle a croc roll. You then got the decision, do I go in at the back or do I drop out again? And remember, that ball, the minute it's out past that foot, it's ball out, you know. 100%. So you've got to be very careful that the placement of that ball is always inside, and it gives us time to reorganise and play. Everybody understand, lads? Okay? Great stuff. Well done. Okay, boys, listen, we've done well. There's just one other point I want to explain. If you can just go down, but just do a cross-field presentation for me. And this is classed as a head clean. So the formation we've seen already, we're actually past the ball and the ball's freed up. A head clean is literally coming to here, and all of a sudden you're gripping onto a position that you struggle to get a grip on. But the biggest problem for this is that the fight is on the ball. The fight for the ball, the battle for the ball is here. Makes it difficult for you because it then becomes a real mess. And we've not won the space. So the problem is it's taken us time. Remember, the quicker we can get the ball out of a breakdown, the better it is for our attack. We want front foot ball. If we've got players stopping here, another player comes in, literally into this position here, we're both into this position. It's a fight on the ball. So you've got a 9 who's trying to get in there and can't, and it's too slow. So the head clean for me will happen, because if you run out of supporting players, sometimes you just have to do what you can do to win the ball. But ideally, number 1 is we want to win space and free the ball up. Okay boys, we've talked about a number of different points relating to the attack and breakdown. The last point I want to make is this, and it's one more of protecting the ball, which is key for me. So I'm going to use you again to just go down, present the ball back to me, and imagine we're playing this way, and I see this a lot. First man comes in, over, ends up 2 metres past. Next man in, over, 2 metres past. And we're that focused, boys, on what's here that we actually don't protect what's in front of us. So the key thing, and especially from a refereeing point of view as well, referees do not want obstruction and blocking folders and tying people in 3 metres past the ball. Everything that we are concerned about is ball, head, body. And literally we always want, I say it again, win the space, win the space, win the space. There is no point in me coming through full of aggression, great body height, cleaning out and ending up here. Because I end up here, I end up here, a third man ends up here. Who's protecting this man on the ground? So number 1 thing is protecting your teammate and the ball. If you do your job well enough, I've said it already, win the space or clear the threat. Well, if you win the space, there is no threat there. It's as simple as that. So we're always getting down the body if it's a long place. We're strong in the tunnel. I always call it the tunnel. Good, strong positions. We all connect. Everybody uses grips, eyes up, strength, ready for a real bit of punishment in there, because teams are going to try and counter us and the ball's away. Does that make sense? So it's about protecting this first. This can go and do what they want to do.